Hey YouTube, what is up? You're once again tuned in to the Pharaoh's Vessel, and today's deck profile is going to be on my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck. So, as usual, if you haven't already done so, if you scroll down slightly and click like and subscribe, I can get you more videos up and running and stuff. On the next video, there will be a small giveaway. It'll be up for a month, and then obviously all names will go into a hat and stuff, and I'll pick a winner from there. But yeah, for now, like and subscribe down below, and this is the Red Eyes Black Dragon deck. So as per the norm, guys, I'm going to start with the monster cards. Obviously it's a Red Eyes Black Dragon deck, so you always start with the signature monster, which is the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Run them at 3 copies. Next I run 1 copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Has the ability of, you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 face-up dragon type monster you control. Once per turn you can special summon 1 dragon type monster from your hand or graveyard except for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Next up we have 1 copy of Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. This card cannot be normal summon or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by attributing 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon on your side of the field. Increase the attack of this card by 300 points for each dragon type monster in your graveyard. I like to run 1 copy of Red Eyes Metal Dragon, which obviously cannot be normal summoned or set either. It can only be special summoned from the deck by attributing 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon equipped with Metal Morph. And then obviously your deck is shuffled. Next up I have 2 copies of the Black Metal Dragon, which states that you can target 1 Red Eyes monster you control except Red Eyes Black Chick. Equip this monster from your hand or your side of the field to the target. It gains 600 attack. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, except for Red Eyes Black Chick. And speaking of Red Eyes Black Chick, I run 2 copies of Red Eyes Black Chick in this deck, which has the lovely ability that you can send the face-up card you control to the graveyard and special summon 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon from your hand instead. I like to run 2 copies of the Red Eyes Baby Dragon. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from the deck. And if you do, equip this card to it from the graveyard. It gains 300 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to the monster, you can add 1 level 1 dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So the effect works so that you could possibly bring out your Black Metal Dragon or your Red Eyes Black Chick. You know, it works in unison with that. Next up, as always with my dragon decks, I like to run 2 copies of the King of D. This card's name becomes Lord of D while on the field. When this card is normal summoned, you can discard 1 spell or trap and add 1 Flute of Summoning Dragon, the Melody of Awakening Dragon, or Dragon Revival Rhapsody from your deck to your hand. So that's got a nice little effect to go with him. I have 1 copy of Meteor Dragon, 1 copy of Red Eyes Retro Dragon, where if a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster you control is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect and sent to the graveyard, while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card in defense position. And if you do, special summon as many of those destroyed monsters as possible in the same position they were when they were destroyed. You can tribute this card and normal summon 1 Red Eyes monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summon set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. That's why I only really run it at 1. It's a great little effect, it works lovely, but you can only use it once per turn. So if you've got like two of them and you bring out two, you can only use the effect once. So it's better to run that just one. I also have Keeper of the Shrine. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon of a dragon type monster. While this card is in your hand or graveyard, if a face-up dragon type monster on the field except Keeper of the Shrine is sent to the graveyard by a card effect or because it was destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card. Then if that monster sent to the graveyard is a normal monster, you can add 1 dragon type normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use the effect of Keeper of the Shrine once per turn. Next up, I run 1 copy of Summon Skull. I quite like the this artwork over the original artwork. I think this one's a bit nicer. It's got more zest to it. And I also run 1 copy of Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight. Whereas once per turn, if either player equips an equip card to this card, you could destroy those equipped cards. Then you can destroy 1 spell trap your opponent controls. Once per turn, you can send 1 equipped card you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard, then target 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. Special summon it. Right, also in this deck, just to finish it off, I run 2 ritual monsters. I have Paladin of Dark Dragon, which obviously you need the ritual for, but it also states that at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, destroy the monster. You can tribute this card, special summon 1 Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck, except for Red Eyes Black Chick, and you can only use the effect of Paladin of Dark Dragon once per turn. And I also run 1 copy of Lord of the Red, where you can ritual summon this card with Red Eyes Transmigration once per turn. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated, except Lord of the Red, you can target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. Once per turn, during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated, except Lord of the Red, you could target 1 spell trap card on the field and destroy it. So that's the monsters, guys. That's what I like to run in the Red Eyes deck. It's quite bulky for monsters, but it works. I obviously, like most of my decks, I'd say it's a non-competitive, but it holds its own pretty well against our mates anyway. So yeah, that's the monsters. Moving on now, we've got the spells. So guys, for the spells, obviously I've got the ritual monsters. So we've got the Red Eyes Transmigration spell and the Dark Dragon ritual, which are used to bring in the 2 ritual monsters. In this deck has an extra deck consisting of fusions and stuff, so I like to run 1 copy of Polymerization. It's a bit dated, as you can see, it's seen better days. And I've got 1 copy of the Ultra Polymerization, which states that you pay 2,000 life points, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using 2 monsters you control as fusion materials. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 fusion monster that was fusion summoned with this card's effect. Special summon all the fusion materials used for its fusion summon from the graveyard, but change their attack and defense to 0. Also, they have their effects negated. So I like to run 2 copies of the Flute of Summoning Dragon. In this deck I have 3 copies of Dragon Revival Rhapsody. I have 2 copies of Inferno Blast. I have 1 copy of Red Eyes Fusion. I like to run the field card Mountain. 1 copy of Allure of Darkness. Obviously all the monsters in here are dark, so it helps. 1 copy of Swords of Revealing Light. 1 Stamp in Destruction. one Mystical Space Typhoon, or MST for short. And finally, I like to run one copy of Stray Lambs, just in case. You never know, you might need them. So yeah, there's your spells as a whole. It kind of works. Obviously, I don't have the other spell card in here that's normally used on the Lord of D, which is the Melody of Awakening Dragon. I only actually have the Dragon Reviving Rhapsody and Fluted Summoning Dragon, but it works well for what it is. So, without further ado, I'm going to move on now to the traps. So guys, for your traps, you are going to run 3 copies of Return of the Red Eyes. Well, this is what I run, I should say. If I control a Red Eyes monster, except for Red Eyes Black Chick, I can target one normal monster in the graveyard and special summon it. If this target in my possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you could target one Red Eyes monster in the graveyard, except for Red Eyes Black Chick, and special summon it. You can only use the effect once per turn. It's a continuous card, so once it's on the field, that's where it stays. Until destroyed, obviously. 3 copies of Red Eyes Spirit. You target one Red Eyes monster in the graveyard, except for Red Eyes Black Chick, and special summon it. Is it me, or does anybody else actually see that this deck really doesn't like the Red Eyes Black Chick? How rude. 1 copy of Metal Morph. 1 copy of Dust Tornado. I run 1 Mirror Force, which I might bump up to 2. Not quite sure yet. And I've got 1 Kunai with Chain and 1 Red Eyes Fang with Chain. As you can see, not many traps to run, guys. Obviously the deck comes in and out on itself, so by the time you've got your powerhouses out, there's not normally much that your opponent can do. So obviously I don't run many trap cards because it doesn't really need much. Things like Red Eyes Spirit and Return of the Red Eyes, yeah, it needs those. The Metal Morph it needs as well. But, yep, there's your traps. Coming up next, Extra Deck. So the Red Eyes archetype doesn't actually have much of an extra deck, guys. But what it does have is 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons, which require 2 level 7 monsters to bring out. Cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has XYZ material. While this card has XYZ material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, then target 1 Red Eyes normal monster in the graveyard and special summon it. Closely followed by 1 fusion monster, the Meteor Black Dragon. Obviously, to bring it out you need the Meteor Dragon and a Red Eyes Black Dragon. It also have the fusion card Black Skull Dragon, which consists of Summoned Skull and Red Eyes Black Dragon. And to finish off the extra deck, 1 Red Eyes Slash Dragon, which states that when a Red Eyes monster declares an attack, you can target 1 warrior monster in your graveyard and equip it to the card as an equip card. I don't think there's any warriors in there, but not to worry. Oh, sorry, tell a lie, there's 1 warrior in there, which is the Gearfried, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. You can, the equipped monster gains 200 attack. When a card or effect is activated that targets a card you control, you can send 1 equipped card you control to the graveyard. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon as many monsters from the graveyard as possible that were equipped to this card. So, there you have it, guys. That is my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck. Like I said at the start, if you haven't already, scroll down slightly, bang a like on the video for me, hit the subscribe button if you want to see new content when it comes up. Competition will be coming up in the next video. It's only a little something, only a little giveaway, but it's something, you know. So, yeah. Like, subscribe, and give me a chance to get more videos out there. Catch you again. Ciao for now.